Hello, everybody. Ella J here for a wrestling gal, and today I am once again joined by the 21st century liability, Natalie Sykes. How are you today?
Oh my God, I'm so good. Thank you for having me again. It's been a while.
Yeah, I think it's been close to 3 years. I think it was September of 21 was the last time
Wow.
we talked, and a lot has changed for you, look wise and travel wise. We'll talk about that. First, we'll start with travel actually, because at the time of recording this, just very recently, you made your way back to your roots in Texas for a month. You did a whole month-long tour across the state. Obviously, like we discussed last time, you grew up in Houston, then made obviously the trip across the pond to Leeds. You got to travel to a lot of big cities like Waco, San Antonio, Austin, of course, Houston as well. So before we get into specifics, tell us about your overall experience, some of your biggest takeaways from being back home.
Oh my God. Texas was amazing. It was such a great month, a busy month. It went too quick for my liking. I feel like that month absolutely flew by. It was really nice being back. Maybe a little bit too warm. Um, Not sure I can handle that heat. Um, and yeah, I really overall like one of the best sort of wrestling experiences that I've had. It was amazing.
Yeah, and during this time, you wrestled 10 matches across the state for promotions such as New Texas Pro, Inspire After Dark, Mission Pro. Speaking of hot, you wrestled for hot, and much more. You also said you met an amazing group of people at those promotions. So tell us about some of the people that you've met and some of your memorable interactions.
For sure. So based out in Houston is obviously the Houston Premier Arena,
Yeah.
big prominent venue, like loads of promotions run there. GCW ran there whilst I was there. And they've got a training school which I believe is called just like the Houston Pro Wrestling Academy,
Yeah.
maybe. Um, and that's where I'd met a bunch of the guys. It's run by JJ Blake, who is incredible. Um, I had met, yeah, some amazing people who trained down there. Big group of people, and also people up from Dallas. I was lucky enough to wrestle Maya World twice
Yeah.
in the month of June, which was incredible. She's so amazing. Yeah, like everyone I interacted with was amazing, and I have nothing bad to say about any of them.
Yeah, like you said, you wrestled Maya World. I know you had two matches against Rachel Rose. She's huge. I saw a little face off with you and Hyon. You were
Yeah.
involved in some multi-person matches, match-wise, performance-wise. Was there a certain performance of yours during this tour that you feel the most proud of and why?
That's a good one. There was a couple. There's been like a couple of really good shows. My Mission Pro debut,
Yeah.
uh, I think is probably up there, I would say. Um, Again, like what an incredible promotion, what an incredible atmosphere, debuting and then getting a please come back chant was like really wholesome and it meant a lot. And then I think like towards the end I did Texas Contender Series against Rachel Rose, as you said. And I feel like the second match coming out again, where towards the end of the month, where people kind of know who I am now and they're
Yeah.
behind me, and seeing that kind of growth from like the first match where people are like, okay, who's this girl from England who's just like come to Houston for some reason, to at the end being like, oh no, like we like her. And feeling that support and seeing that kind of growth over a month was really nice to see as well.
I'm so curious, obviously you grew up a little bit in America, but most of your life has been based in the UK and all of that. So I have to imagine that American wrestling is probably a little bit different than British wrestling, or at least how you put together matches and stuff like that. So with that in mind, can you tell us some things you learned about yourself and or wrestling from your Texas experience?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like growing up watching wrestling, it was like American style wrestling at
Yeah.
first, and then coming to England and actually like this is where I trained and
Yeah.
like I trained up in the sort of like British style, which again, like I never really realized that there was such a dramatic difference. Of course, being in Texas, lucha is obviously
Oh
huge.
yeah.
Um, girl, I'm not built for lucha. I cannot jump more than 2 centimeters off the ground.
I think we talked about that last time.
Um, things changed. It's not happening. Can't leave the ground. And can't do any flips either. So the kind of lucha style was kind of really intimidating. Um, Luckily, I was not put in a position where I had to do any of that. Um, but it's always so fun to watch. It's always super impressive to see people who can wrestle the lucha style.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick. Um, and yeah, I think putting together matches in England compare maybe it's just the way that Liam Slater at Absolute Pro Wrestling has
Yeah.
kind of been teaching us. Um, it is a lot like psychology based. I feel like Liam loves to just be like, why to everything. And I feel like I have now adapted that. So, and I'm not sure like if Americans like think that deep about it and they just like go out and they wrestle and they do cool shit. Whereas I feel like Liam has us all pondering and going, why?
Yeah.
Why? So I feel like that was also something that I learned about myself is that I am also just watching everything going, why? Why?
You can thank Liam for that. Now it's
Yeah.
kind of it's not it's just second nature to you at this point. Wrestling aside too, I'm sure you had plenty of time to explore the scenes around Texas because like you said, it's a big state. There's a lot to see. So from an exploration standpoint, tell us about some of the sights you saw, the food you ate, some of the fun non-wrestling activities you did during your month of June.
Number one, Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
It has to be Buc-ee's. I I'm assuming I again like I was a kid, so I don't remember, but I'm
Yeah.
assuming I'm the Buc-ee's. Um, so that first time, I think we were driving to Austin, for Inspire. We stopped at Buc-ee's, and I was like, "This is my Disney World. This is incredible." I mean, it had everything. Um, so stopping at Buc-ee's was always a highlight. Um,
Portion
what?
sizes are also a lot bigger here.
Yeah,
Like,
are. Yes, they are. Um, which was crazy. But I didn't mind it. Hey, I did not mind it at all. Um, but yeah, that was pretty crazy. I think I remember like where was I? I had I think we were just getting food after a show and I had asked for like a medium drink and it was like yeah, it was like a large drink and I was
yeah.
like oh. I was like okay, forgot about that one. So what else did I do? I went to the Houston Zoo, which was very nice. Just like a nice little walk around, get your steps in,
Yeah.
see some animals. And it's in like a really lovely park as well. Got to walk around the park. Um, Kind of enjoy the nice the time of day where like the weather's nice enough to be outside before it gets too humid and gross
Yeah.
and disgusting. Yeah. San Antonio was also a personal highlight.
Did you go to
Uh,
the river walk?
yes,
Oh, it's
yes.
so beautiful. It's so big,
The,
but it's so beautiful.
the Riverwalk in that Alamo. I just think like San Antonio was so lovely. Like walking around San
Yeah.
Antonio, it was just I thought it was just gorgeous. I really liked it. So
I
San Antonio. Also, yeah,
Yeah,
up
I've been
there.
to San Antonio and Dallas. I feel like there was a lot more to do in San Antonio, like the Riverwalk and the Alamo. I mean, especially during the summer, I can imagine because I was there in like a January, but then again, Texas is always like warm. They don't get snow. So it was just so beautiful, like all the different places along like the little river there. It was just so amazing and all of that. Obviously you've gotten now a little bit of a taste of the American wrestling scene, lucha aside. Who are some competitors across the US that you'd be keen on working with in the future if and when, not if, when you do return eventually?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I had a brief encounter with Hyan.
Yes.
Obviously, she's been to England a few
Yes.
times. We've never really crossed paths in terms of a match sense. Would definitely be a match that I'd want. I think that would be a super fun match. I mean, like, America's so big. Like, just thinking of everyone I didn't get the chance to wrestle in Texas specifically, and then considering like everyone else across the whole United States, there's so many people I'd want to tick off my list. Like, I don't even know where to start. There's just so many people. I had, in fact, the opportunity to watch Kylie Ray at
She's
the
back. Yeah.
showcase. And I mean, Kylie Ray has been like probably one of my biggest kind of sources of inspiration,
Yeah.
especially like for my stuff and my like character stuff, I guess. Kylie Ray hit my line. Let's work something out.
Before we continue, I'm gonna cut this part out. For your shoot job wise, are you still working behind the scenes with like film and television and all that?
Yes.
Okay, because I wanted to ask because I was gonna ask some things about that. I didn't know if you were still active
Yeah.
in it or not. And feel
Yeah.
free to share as much or as little about it. So I'll cut to here. We're obviously talking about wrestling, but you also have a whole other side of you, behind the scenes in television and production. The last time we were talking, you had a year left in your film studies and media production program. You are now officially working in the film and TV industry, wrestling aside, in a behind the scenes role. Can you tell us more about what this work looks like, what it entails? I'm so curious because now, last time you were talking, you're still in pursuit. Now you've officially got your degree and you're working.
Yes, so I that's so insane. I don't remember. I honestly, I should have revisited the last time that we spoke, so I have no idea um how much we spoke about. I graduated with a first class honors degree, let it be known,
Congratulations.
in media production. I started off as kind of like a PA, but now I am a production coordinator, which means that I mainly handle like logistics of like making a TV show from like pre-production all the way to post-production and it like airing on TV. It means that I'm kind of in charge of maybe like the call sheets that probably people are most familiar with. Um, and also just like logistics of travel and locations and all that lovely stuff and actually being on set and just making sure that the days are running smoothly and everyone is happy and fed.
No, I'm so curious because we did not talk extensively about it last time. When and how did your interest in film and media production in television really spark for you?
Um, I always feel like I was like kind of a creative kid. I always like to make stuff. Like watch a lot of TV and films. Like I would literally make like music videos, like with my friends. Like we'd
Yeah.
make like music videos and I'd like edit them and stuff like that. And then going through school in like our high school, we had the option to study film studies as like a GCSE, which is I guess one of the qualifications. I don't really know what that translates to in like America. But I studied film studies in high school, and then I studied it in college at A level, and then I just took it to university. Because I don't know, I just had this. I really love films. I really love storytelling. I
I
don't
know.
know.
Last time we were talking, you said that one of your biggest goals was to write and direct a featured film, kind of a coming of age film. Do you have
Yeah.
any updates on those aspirations? Have you started writing a potential script at all?
Okay, so for my final year project at university, I did end up doing a short film. Um, and I re um that got a really good grade. It got shown at like a kind of local film festival, and I got to do some stuff with that, which was pretty cool. In terms of a feature length, girl, that's time consuming.
That's
I've
fair.
been trying so hard to like sit down and try to write something. But at the minute, everything is so hectic with
Yeah.
like a shoot job and then wrestling and finding time to balance everything. I would there's like so many like little hobbies or things that I would love to just get a routine going to try and like find the time to do all these like little self-care, like little hobbies. I'm finding it so difficult with time at the minute. But never say never. I'm working on it.
Fingers crossed. It's kind of a good problem to have. You're too busy. You're that means you're thriving.
Yeah,
So it's a good problem to have.
yeah.
I'm so curious though, given your background and your expertise now in film, behind the scenes and in writing and all of that. Do you find yourself like dissecting films on like a deeper level now when you're watching them because you're kind of jaded to that point now?
Um, yes, but that's been a thing for years.
Okay.
I remember I went to the cinema with one of my friends and um we went to go watch Don't Worry Darling, the Harry Styles one.
Yeah.
And I just remember like we were talking about it afterwards and I was like pointing out like all these things and she was like looking at me, she was like, How did you notice all of this? And I was like, but it was so obvious. And she was like, no. She was like, I was just looking at Harry Styles. Like, I don't know.
It's fair.
I was like, yeah, fair enough. I feel like I'm so guilty of doing that. But also now I'm so guilty of doing that with wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Watching wrestling is so difficult these days.
Especially from a psychology standpoint, I have to imagine.
Yeah, I'm always, yeah, picking things apart, which it kind of sucks because like you want to watch wrestling to enjoy it. Like that's so
Yeah.
lame. Like don't need to be dissecting it
Yeah.
that much, but I can't help it.
Now, I guess in film and I'll ask film first. What is your favorite film of all time and why?
Okay, I have a very safe answer for like when
Okay.
I'm asked the question. My safe answer is The Breakfast Club. I feel like it is a very timeless film. I am a sucker for like a coming of age film, 80s, tick that box. I think it has like so much rewatchability. Um, it's a nice little comfort film for me, I think.
Yeah.
But more recently, um, After Sun, incredible film, and Everything Everywhere All at Once as well. Are kind of up there for like just amazing sort of like cinema masterpieces. My 5 stars on Letterboxd. So I would say those two films for sure. But my safe answer will always be The Breakfast Club.
Now, from a psychology standpoint, or maybe a cinematic standpoint, applying it to wrestling, do you have kind of on similar wavelength this favorite match or performance in professional wrestling that you would equate to like a film, you know?
Oh, that I'd equate to a film. I'm not sure. I do have a favorite wrestling match,
Okay.
and all it's like a joke now with like me and my friends. because it is just such an obscure match that literally everyone's like, why? Why is that your favorite match? And I'll never apologize. It's Team DX versus Team Rated RKO from Survivor Series 2006.
That
There
was a
I
great time.
sue me. Um, what a great match. Sorry about it. Sorry, it's
Don't
not
apologize to me. I love both
some
teams.
obscure, some match. No, Survivor Series 2006. That's the one.
I mean, I'm also biased because I love all of them, and also 2006 DX is my favorite iteration of DX.
Thank you. Because, because same, it wasn't Attitude Era. It was the Ruthless Aggression Era
Yeah.
DX that was always my favorite. But I'm biased because I guess that's when I was like growing up and watching wrestling.
That's fair. That was a little bit before. That was 3 years before but obviously I went back and watched it. And I don't own many DVDs, but there is a DX DVD dedicated to the 2006 era of DX, all their matches and highlights. That is one of, I think, maybe five wrestling DVDs that I have. Is that one?
I've got it. I've got that one.
Oh, I
Um,
love it so much.
it's like it's quite like a chunky one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I've got the one that it like folds out and there's like little cartoon
Yeah.
X. Oh, yeah, I've got I have got that one somewhere in this house.
Fast forwarding to the present day, Natalie Sykes, 21st century liability. You're obviously huge into pop culture. Who are some of your favorite figures across the pop culture landscape, whether it's in film, music, entertainment, television, etc.?
Okay, excellent question. At the minute, I am living my best like Y2K
Yeah.
next gen vibe aesthetic. So you're like Olivia Rodrigo's.
Yeah.
I love it. Um, I feel like that sort of aesthetic I'm very much feeling at the minute. Um, oh my God, that's crazy. Because there's just so, because it just spans like so much. Again, like going back to the Breakfast Club, but like the whole 80s like
Hmm.
rap era, that's a good, I don't know, man. There's so much. I feel like I consume so much media. Or like when people are like, oh, like what kind of music do you listen to? It's like everything.
Same.
There's like so much. Just general icons, Prince, David Bowie, Queen. Like I just there's so many icons at the minute. This pop culture is just such a beautiful thing.
I know. And I have to imagine, obviously, some of that pop culture attitude and aesthetic translates over to your ring gear. But more generally, what would you say are your general sources of inspiration when crafting and envisioning your ring gear?
So glad you asked. Because, and this is a spoiler potentially, that I will be debuting new gear this
Ooh.
weekend. And all I will tell you is Avril Lavigne.
I'm going to see her in concert next month.
I'm so jealous.
I've never
Um,
seen her in concert, but it's the greatest hits tour, so I had to.
yes, I love that. I think she was just in England as I was just coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I just missed out.
Mm.
Yeah,
Now, is this like grungy, loose pants Avril, or is this more emo goth, black eyeliner,
it's
Avril?
it's very much um girlfriend music video,
Okay.
pink tartan, fishnets.
Okay.
That's the vibe. And that's a spoiler.
Okay.
That's an exclusive.
Well, I'm looking forward to at the time this will come out, people will have already seen it. So
Mm.
we'll have to insert some pictures in there and all of that. But you're talking about your presentation. The last time I talked to you, you had this half blue, half blonde hair. You've since gone about half pink, half blonde, and you went full platinum. Now you're brunette with you had some green pieces in a little bit ago. Talk to us about the evolution of yourself, not just from a hair standpoint, but your overall presentation.
Um, I feel like the one thing that's always stayed consistent with the kind of like Natalie Sykes vibe is the checkerboard. The
Yes.
checkerboard is a must. And that was it only started as like a nod to like Vans and the kind of like skater kind of emo
Yeah.
kind of vibes. That has always stayed consistent. I feel like I can never let the checkerboards go now. Um, but now I don't know. I feel like it is coming more into just like me now. Like I feel like back when they last spoke, it felt like Natalie Sykes was very much a character that I was playing. And now she is me, I am her. Like
Yeah.
we are the same person. Um, so it is like dressing the way that I would that I would dress. Um, the kind of like e-girl, like colored pieces, um, funky stuff. Obviously now, I went back to my natural color
Yes.
because I thought if I bleach my hair one more time, we might have an issue.
Mhm.
And the little green and like pink pieces that you'll see in my hair now are just clip-ons. I can't commit to that because I
That's
love
fair.
to match the colors to like my gear and stuff. I always love matching colors, and because everything is so colorful, I just can't keep up with dyeing my hair.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like I'm just coming more into it just being me now. It's natural now. I don't feel like we're two separate people anymore. It's like
They're
what you
they're they're merging together. Yeah.
yeah, merged.
Now, for this Avril look, are you gonna have I'm guessing green for some reason. Are you gonna be having
Mm,
green or pink clip-ins? What's the plan?
it's pink.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, very girlfriend music video. She's kind
Yeah.
of got like pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the vibe.
Yeah. Now, final question, the 21st century liability is also, obviously, like you said, very Gen Z oriented, which means she's huge into TikTok. What sides of TikTok are you currently on right now? What does your For You page look like? Because mine is chaotic.
Mine is mine is so chaotic. What TikTok am I on? I am on like feral brain rot. Makes no sense. Would probably confuse a person over 30. Like they wouldn't understand why it's funny. Brain rot, TikTok. God, what else am I on? I've been watching a lot of Smiling Friends. So I'm getting like Smiling Friends TikToks. I honestly can't describe it. I can't describe it, but somehow it still feels very me,
Mhm.
which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing with the way I've just described what my For You page looks like.
I feel like everybody, well, sometimes too, like you like one video, and then another video pops up 3 videos later, then you like it, and then all of a sudden you're on this side of TikTok you never thought you would be on.
Yeah, I'll send like me and my friend Leah will like send each other like funny
Yeah.
TikTok. But when I'm scrolling, I'll be like, no, this video's too niche. Like it's not I probably only think that this is funny, like and then like 5 minutes later she'll send the same one to me and I'll be like, oh, this is it. We're on the
Yeah.
same kind of wavelength here of just Gen Z brain rot TikToks.
Last time I said I'm a what are they called? A Zillennial is what it is because I'm like that awkward. I'm a 97, so I'm on the cusp of like both. Like the
Right.
lines are blurred. There's no like, definitive thing. I'm like right in the middle of it. So I relate to a lot of Gen Z, but then I relate to a lot of millennial things too as well. But TikTok, I am definitely there on you. I'm an addict. I tried, I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't give it up. I can't.
My like 16-hour screen time, it doesn't even,
Oh, like five of it is TikTok. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Now, before we let you go, please let the listeners know where they can find you on social media and support you.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, Twitter or X, TikTok, even though I don't, maybe I should start posting more on TikTok. I feel like that's very much on brand. Anyway, all my socials are at Natalie Sykes with an underscore. And I have a big cartel for all merch related stuff, which is nataliesykes.bigcartel.com.
Well, Natalie, hopefully we get you back over here in the States again soon. There's a lot of competitors that we're yearning to see you square off with. We need to get you that match with Hion first and foremost. The Renaissance woman versus the 21st century liability. Somebody needs to book it.
Mhm.
But in the meantime, thank you so much for joining me here today. It's been an honor getting to catch up with you, and congratulations, you finally made it over here. Now we just need you back, girl, like soon.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And you know what? It's coming sooner than you think.
Mm. Little secrets, little teasers. We'll leave it on that note. Natalie, thank you so much again.
Amazing. Thank you.